Right, I was hoping this would be the last video on the 125, but I uncovered another problem which kind of precludes me from taking it for a test ride, which I'll show you in a minute. But what we'll do is just go over everything else that I've done, because it's pretty much all together now, apart from the front mudguard, which I'll explain in a minute. So rear light, this was a Chinese £17 rear light, which is in the style of what the 125s are, but the bolt holes don't match up. So I just made a base plate, screwed it to that, and put that into the bolt holes of the existing guard. Round on this side, Chinese exhaust, £70. I've coated the frame. I've done it in black hammerite just to smarten it up. I've got a 12-volt battery to go into this space here. It's there we go, a moto bat, because I determined that this actually was already running 12 volts. I think somebody's put a rectifier in it to run the 12-volt system. Top end, so I've got new barrel, piston, rings, the pin, new carburetor. Up in here I've got new rockers, and on the other side I've got a new top sprocket and timing chain. Additionally, all of that was from China. Additionally, drive chain, again from China, 428 size. And in here, in the CDI unit, I've got a Chinese pulse generator, and up under there is also a Chinese charge capacitor. On the other side, a Chinese coil. I think you get the drift. Forks, I've rebuilt and resealed. I'm waiting for another mudguard to come through. So I'll explain. The white one is the one that was on the bike. It's got a 4-bolt hole arrangement. It's obviously not for this bike, because up under here is only a 3-bolt hole arrangement, which is the same as this red one. So this red one actually got sent to me in error when I ordered the Chinese clocks. So they say to keep the red mudguard. It's the wrong colour, but what I've actually done is ordered a white one now from the same supplier. So the clocks. These are the similar look and feel. The difference is in the lights, but the same size speedo and rev counter difference. But what I've done is wired up the neutral switch to this central indicator, so it shows a 0 on the neutral. The main beam light works, and over here I've got a new Chinese switchgear for my dip main beam. I haven't put the indicators back onto this, and the horn does work. Got no battery in it at the moment. Got the original engine stop, which is getting a bit ropey, as you can see, does work, and my lights on off all work on this side. Original ignition, although I have got yet another Chinese part in stock that will fit that as well, with 2 keys. I've only got 1 key for this at the moment. Around the front, I've refurbished this surround. It was well rusty on the top, so what I've actually done is rub that down with a little wire wheel on a Dremel, and then I've lacquered it to stop it rusting again. So that's now got a clear lacquer all over it, running a 12-volt bulb. On the other side, you will have noticed somewhat strange colour panel. There's a guy on eBay that sells these for 50 something pounds. They don't have the heat shield inside, and I went looking for a colour match. So there is a colour match for this. I think it's the Honda one they refer to as PB104, which is this blue here. Somebody said online that the closest match in RAL was a RAL 5012. Obviously it's not. You can see it's brighter. This may have been brighter when new. Try polishing out, not sure. But I've had a look at my RAL cards, and it looks like 5019 might be the match for this. So I'm going to actually get a can of 5019 and spray that up. And then I just need to put some heat shield around the inside of that, because the exhaust panel, exhaust is under there. Let's just pull that off. There we go. Exhaust is under there, so that needs to be protected on the inside of this. As you can see, it's quite a nice job. It's fiberglass with the right pegs in the right places. A little bit of grease on my rubbers to help this in and out. Don't want to be breaking the pegs. So I'm just going to put some heat shield on the inside of that. That's about it. It does run, as you've seen in other videos, but I can't actually take it out for a test ride right now because I found this. And I'm going to show you a little bit of video now that I took earlier of the tank and what happened when I added some more white vinegar to it to clean it out. I'd already cleaned it once, and then I put some diluted phosphoric acid in there, which obviously is an acid, and it started to show up some of the flaws, which I'll show you now. So what I've done, and on the inside as well, there was a couple of holes on the inside you will have just seen, is MIG welded up those holes just to fill them, to give me something when I come to braze this. So what I'm actually going to do is now braze this whole area. I have got some brazing rods, but I've only got the non-flux ones. So what I've just ordered is the ones with the flux surround. So when they come around, I'm going to completely cover this in braze inside as well. I've had a good old tap around on this. The rest of it is pretty solid. So a bit of water coming through there is pretty solid. But I've ground down the welds so that there was, I can't remember, a couple of holes in here, I think it was here and up here. So the welding is not a preferred method on these at all, especially if you have fuel in it. This has been empty for months and so much water through it, there was no risk of anything by doing a bit of MIG welding on it. But basically what it enabled me to do was fill the holes up a little bit, then I've ground them down. Because if you don't do that, potentially the braze will flow through the hole. So I made them basically smaller. It is still a little bit perforated. You can see a little bit cracks in the weld there, but we'll give that a go. It's just an experiment. If that doesn't work, there is another option. I can see that there is, in India, you can get replica tanks of these for about £240, I think it is. So if that fails, then I'll get a replica tank for it. I do actually have an XL500, or is it a 250 tank, but I don't think they fit these. I think this is a shape for 185 and 125 only. Don't think the 250 tank will fit on this, but that's in storage. I need to go and get that and see if it fits. So that's about it. I don't think there's anything else I need to explain. So although I haven't got to a test ride on it yet, this might be the last video on it. If I do a test ride, I'll just put it up as a short so that you can see the whole bike running. And also I just want to test out the fact that I've gone through a number of heat cycles on this now. Hopefully this is now loosening up and is not going to cause any issues when I take it out for a bit more of a blast. So there we go, a rebuild, not a restore, but a rebuild from what was a field bike into something absolutely usable. And this bike is registered on an English V5 as historic, so it doesn't need a tax or MOT, and I will be putting it up for sale once I get it all running on the road. So hopefully keep an eye on the shorts and see if I've got a road ride video on it, and also keep an eye on some adverts. And if you're interested, message me.